He cannot afford to be caught napping around that point in the game.
Yeah, and shout out to Shakespeare as well, who is the first female pro in LJL. Stepping forwards as Lien enters the lane. Jinzhao forced to flash, but look at that! The stun comes through anyway! And first blood for Assume! Fantastic start, especially on Lucian Nami. You do use it. Jinzhao takes a chunk, but Assume in trouble. Envy just charging forwards with the red and white guns, but he doesn't have flash. He can't quite finish the kills, and Feather walks away as well. But here's Meteor.
Here, he has flash.
This is a jungler that ain't afraid to dive. The wave still needs to be pushed in. Assume, I don't think he can clear this one. Not level 6 for the culling. And here we go. Dive underway. RA's reinforcements are headed over, but Jinzhao and Envy are both going to get taken so low. Meteor does get 2 kills, but there's 2 deaths as well. And suddenly N cleans it up for 3. A double for Assume. It couldn't have gone worse.
Well, I don't envy them. That is a hell of a mistake to make. I think Meteor maybe could have just flashed over the wall, got into that kill very quickly, rather than waiting for the cooldowns to come back up. Feather and Assume outplay the dive.
Xiaoshu being denied his exit by Fairness here, because Haichao moves up towards that top lane, but a nice little buffer denies the charm. It's not going to be enough, or is it pulls it back? But it doesn't commit to the play onto Fairness. Oh, so close. A valiant attempt from Xiaoshu to survive, but Fairness on a blade's edge survives the play.
Haichao gonna go back to base with that 1 kill and buy himself those Mercury's treads. Going back to the replay of how this happened though. Envy, of course, came in from Leaf Sandbox, coming in from Spring to Summer. Player of some renown over in the LCK. Zafellos is no slouch either, but right here, I just feel like Meteor could have just flashed that wall, even without the minions in place. Just not wait for the next cooldowns to come up. Huge play by Feather. Huge play. Great bubble. And Meteor, I feel like he just had to commit to that play with or without those minions before those cooldowns came back up.
Fantastic stuff, though, from Assume and Feather. Beautifully played to deny everything. The bubble, the ignite onto the support. Xiaoshu, so close to getting Fearless. I don't know if his E was currently on cooldown when he was when he got the knockback onto Fairness, but either way.
I'm gonna just hope that it's Stormrazor and hope for the best because I don't have the items opened up beside me right now. That was the ults coming out though. Envy caught out again.
Envy gonna go down. Culling comes out. Beautifully played by Assume and Feather. And we'll be able to take him down. So good stuff there. And now Xiaoshu has Fairness on the ropes once again, but Meteor is in the area this time. Xiaoshu's got to be careful. He's still going aggressive. He's been baited in. Fairness being fearless in this one, just like he wanted his username to be. Xiaoshu should go down the all-out to try and buy himself space, but the cast, no! Denied by the dash, and the flash still up from the previous play. Xiaoshu survives.
You'll remember this as the day you almost caught Captain Jack Xiaoshu. Walks away from a 1v2 and actually survives this time. He's been having a good time individually, despite not walking away with kills and those individual, I suppose, gold advantages. The fact that he's not dying is still important. Meteor will get himself another mark for Xiaoshu has like forced retreat though. Not been able to get a mark off of champions, but Meteor still getting some on the board.
Yeah, it is Gale Force, by the way, to follow up on the previous conversation. I thought it was Gale Force, and then I second-guessed myself because it was...
And then you said it, and I was like, I'm just going to believe you, Joe.
My brain went, okay, there's no Noon Quiver, so it can't be Mythic, because that's how it used to work.
Yes.
And they've ruined everything. Like, as an AD carry player, I have to double-check everything I build now, because they changed absolutely everything.
But we basically had a second preseason in the middle of the split. And I was on holiday, I came back, and I was like, I need to memorize new items all over again. Still a work in progress. Xiaoshu does the real deal, though, of escaping from another perilous situation. Yes, and Cassante, a champion, which has really been in the community eye for a little while now. A lot of players very practiced at this champion, particularly in the LPL. This champion, it feels like if you're skilled at this champion, you can do just about anything with him.
Xiaoshu under threat again as Meteor moves up to this top side. This is the most top side focus I've seen from a jungler, maybe all split, honestly. I feel like Meteor is constantly hovering this lane. Considering he has a tank Gragas in that lane, I guess you are the carry as the Kindred. So looking to try and grab that for himself.
Hang on.
5 stats.
That's 5 marks. How's he got that many without his checking? He has 5 marks.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess he's just been farming up in Lien's jungle. I mean, he is 16 CS up in the jungle. As Drake will be taking here.
I think we found out the reason why he's been hovering towards that top side. He's been able to get camps because Fearness has been at least pushing in towards Xiaoshu. He's walking towards again, using that power so well.
Ooh, damage out from Meteor's huge onto Feather as the rest of the team charges in, but they can't actually get the kills. Oh, good charm. As Tibbers is buying so much space for the squad, by the way. Tibbers like 1v4ing that fight. As Fearness takes a bit of a chunk from Lien. I can't believe RA just walked away without anyone going down.
The really MVP of the Merc Treads in Meteor's inventory. The tenacity and the extra magic resist stops Meteor from getting absolutely exploded, means the ultimate can come through. It does mean, however, that they're still falling back and the Herald is still in the sights of Rare Atom. Meteor has healed up off the Krugs, might be able to fight again though.
Fearness steps forward, does have his cask available, but that is the only ultimate available on the side of LGD. With Xiaoshu and Lien both with theirs. Going to go for a 50-50 on the Herald, it seems. We'll see who's going to get it. It's RA. Can they pick up the eye is the question. It's now LGD muscling forwards, forcing Lien's ult with that cask that we mentioned before. They may not get the Herald themselves, that they will deny it from RA.
The eye is going to blink itself shut and out of existence. Rare Atom at least deny LGD taking that. And I think that's very important because right now, no turrets have fallen across the map. We have seen Meteor really try and get into the enemy jungle and try and get into Xiaoshu's lane as well. Giving this Kindred more access to camps and more access to just bully out one side of the map is very, very dangerous. Large amounts of members going towards the top lane turret.
Xiaoshu's in trouble here. Does have his all-out available to try and pull someone away, but just going to step forward to try and start this fight. Lien and Feather were on their way over to Zoom. Returning to that mid lane, he knows Envy wants to finish that tower off and not sure he can contest with Jin Zhao there as well. We'll just have to concede the tower. And in the meantime, Haicha pushing in that top side as well. TP having to be channeled by Xiaoshu just to keep these tier 1s alive. Stride's Bloom popped by Fearness. He'll spot Lien. But with Lien moving over, they should be able to guarantee this tower. Rocket Pelt to try and find a Tibbers angle, but doesn't blow it onto Fearness for no reason. Envy is one shot, but no, the Wild Growth comes on out. Still goes down. The Culling to finish it off. Meteor flashes forward to punish the play. And Feather will fall too. No! Meteor, he thought he had the damage, but the heal comes through at the last second, and now Xiaoshu on the opposite side of the play. Meteor has to use his ult. A beautiful bubble from Feather, but Fearness there to punish the play. Meteor will fall. Jin on the top side, Fearness on the bottom side. It's absolute carnage in the mid lane.
And I think both these teams will probably be very thankful at this point that this fight didn't happen 2 minutes later, because Baron would have been alive and it would have thrown things into a real loop in this game. Haicha trying to stop some recalls, trying to scout out where Lien and Strive were at that point in time, stops that recalls to both of them. And we are left with a bit of a weird even trade. And we're just going to reset. Board's even again.
I will say, Nightmare, we've been treated today. A lot of this split has been very one-sided games. Like, we're not seeing that many really close games. Today, we have had tons of close early games.
We have, and I think we've been we've kind of been taking the Lucian Nami for granted as well. What that combo allows you to do is to have these very bursty one-item trades, and when you have both these bot lane combos which can do that, it means you have these very intricate mid lane fights when you're fighting over these waves. As you can see in this play here, Meteor strong enough to delay the fight, but not strong enough to win in a 1v2 beyond that point. It's enough to at least allow Fearness to get another kill in the back end. Dragon is alive, they will be into River to contest, and Haichao is on the flank, has flash, has ult, has a chance to make a pick.
Oh, knock back onto Fearness here. They're going for it. Strive gets the Tibbers down. It's onto Jin Zhao. They should be able to finish one kill at least. Haichao onto the rest of the squad here. Feather low, everyone taken out. The combo is there. Xiaoshu and Lien in a 2v4. The all-out buys them one kill. Can they escape with more? Xiaoshu up on the top side as Lien goes downwards. Dragon was taken, but at what cost? 4 for 2.
Another mark at the end for Meteor, up to 6. That'll be the cherry on top of the multiple kills picked up. They don't get the Dragon. It's a little sad for them, but the kills, the gold, the mark, the tower on the bot side, LGD take up all of the other objectives and the other advantages they can find from that fight.
Fend for themselves on the backside of the play.
Strive very nearly gets himself a multi-man Tibbers, and particularly with the tidal wave coming over, if he just managed to stun them into the tidal wave, you can see how much space that would have brought the likes of Assume to do the damage which he couldn't quite manage because he was shut down by LGD, who weren't locked up at that point. Resets come through, damage is there. You have a second AD carry, luckily, in the Kindred to keep up your DPS numbers, despite the fact that Envy did go down at the start of that fight. As we saw that, at least picks up the mark at the end of it too. Going to join up as a 4-man unit in this bot side. Teleport available from Fairness. Teleport coming in from RA though.
That's Gale Force from Envy, but at what cost? Xiaoshu trades his life for it. Although will walk away. Strive behind enemy lines, but the Wild Growth keeps him alive. And suddenly Strive finds himself alone in the world. Will be taken out. Doesn't even have any mana. As I'm pretty sure he just TP'd. How does he have no mana? LGD,
I don't know.
Yeah, he must have TP'd with like... He must have just gone from somewhere else on the map. I don't know. Either way, LGD find themselves a single pick onto Strive and then break the game open. We've seen this story before. LGD will get the bottom in him. And I would say just keep looking for more. Keep on fighting at this point because RA looking all kinds discombobulated this game. Not the biggest value Sibbert's Fang, but Chow finds a charm onto Feather in the mid lane. He's going to have to flash and will go down anyway. A cask on top of his head. Feather really overstepping that one. And RA, they're on the top side of the map running for their lives. But in the meantime, Envy can just run down the mid lane. He can just take towers.
He can. He's safe on his own at that point. Trying to stop the recalls. Meteor has flash.
Yeah.
Doesn't need it.
Dead. Assumes down. Meteor just Gale Force to finish the job. Tibbers comes in. Wild Growth is there. Doesn't even have to use the Lamb's Respite. And this is looking about as over as they come, Nomura.
Out it is. Uses that extra damage from the Gale Force. Takes down the enemy AD carry. 3 members dead now of Rare Atom. No one to defend the space. Their wave clear is gone. And despite the fact that Lian has not died this game, denying the mark, at least from Meteor, he's not been able to impact it either. LGD, game 1, looking strong.
Looking fantastic here. Guess they'll get one final fight to finish the job off. Moonlight Vigil comes on in as he dives forward with Gale Force. Beautiful little combo. And Hai Chao finishes the job with a double kill. LGD showing up strong today. It's Hai Chao sacrificing his life for the triple kill to finish the game out there. And LGD, again, they beat JDG in game number 1. They took a game off of JDG, MSI champions. And now looking dominant, it has to be said, against RA. It's all about denial. We'll see if they can pull it off, though, as we head to game number 2. LGD impressing us in game number 1. And I'm hoping to remain impressed here in game number 2. But RA, I want to see more, especially in that mid game. I want to see what they can do if they get a lead early, because they had lanes to play through in the early game. They certainly had advantages to work with, but not able to make them stick. I'm looking a little bit towards the laning phase as well in that bottom lane. I feel like Envy leaving something to be desired.
And I think coming out of Spring, that was a lot of the examples that we kind of saw of this guy. Is actually doing a lot better than people expected right now. Threatening a Q3 again. There it goes.
Oh, nice flash to make it happen. Fairness goes down. I think he might have to TP.
And that's a fun one, because not only you tasting the fear from Kha'Zix, you're tasting the Fairness for First Blood as well. Chomps down on them. Want to know? It's great, isn't it? This one's going to die as well. Jinja caught out.
I mean, that is tough for Jinja. One more auto. No, the shield comes on in. Can they finish it? Guardian is there. He doesn't have the damage. And Assume's going to go down as well. Wacky.
It's been a fun day. It's been a fun day of League of Legends. Has it been a clean day of League of Legends? No, absolutely not. But that's Jinja just trying to force the wave into the turret, try and get that away. Doesn't quite understand, I think, how close Assume was to coming back into lane. Has a clutch shield. Was thinking it was pretty much done at this point, but it has to stay for one more auto, and then, of course, ends up.
Lian wants a little bit more of what's happening up top. The all-out separates them, though, and it won't matter.
Starving out vision on the map, contesting what Meteor's going to be doing with Saplings and what he's going to be doing with this level 6, and he is bot side to stave off a dive. Both mid lane is coming.
Lian's here too. Meteor trying to start this one off, but red and white weapons looks pretty good for Assum as they go way too deep. Meteor will go down 1-for-1 here. Jinja and Envy, they've just got to try and get out of the play now. Assume getting a bonus kill here. Certainly going to help him out on the bottom side.
Well, he's LGD, they packed their scuba tanks, they went for a dive. Didn't really have enough air in the tank for that one, though. Lian in the right place at the right time, gets back out there, and gets his AD carry a kill. Hai Chao in lane as well, he'll be teleporting back at some point, and now Lian gets to roam to the play second.
Yeah, Feather with the quickness, flashes out to safety. Moonlight Vigil on 3, and the flash forwards for the Infernum. Assumes out of mana though, and Envy has a moment to shine. There's one with the reset. Feather tries to escape. Xiaoshu TP's into the play. Envy still with mana and health, and Feather knocked back. Beautiful play from Fearless. Envy still going. Xiaoshu is tanky though, and he wants a bit of action for himself. The all-out comes out onto Envy, and Strive follows up on the play. RA turning it back onto his head. A double for Strive.
Strive getting the resets, and it's all off the back of Xiaoshu taking his individual lead and applying it to the rest of the map. Huge CS lead, huge amounts of gold in pocket, and they explodes the game for RA in a way that they absolutely couldn't in game 1. Things fell apart from them in the mid game after an even early game. This time they're pulling ahead early.
Certainly are. High Chow as now RA, you'd anticipate will try and put some pressure on. It's a minute till Baron spawns onto the map. They're feeling confident. They're feeling like they're in control. The problem is, without Baron, the wave clear is kind of fantastic on LGD. You've got a Gragas, you've got a Jinx, and you've got a Jace. They're all pretty good at dealing with minion waves. So it's tough for RA to actually find a siege. Perhaps a dive could be on the cards.
Actually, it could be. They're less about their huge teamfight engages, though. They really want to just choke out Vision and force LGD to fight into Fog of War. When they're standing under their turret, it's a little harder to get at them. It's why this tower's taken such a long time to take. They can't just take it for free. Strive looking for the charm.
Dive coming through. Wild Growth onto Envy. He's got no summoners and he'll be taken down. Tower goes and a bonus kill on top as Meteor stuck between a tower and a hard place. And now 9-4 with Baron about to spawn with 2 picks and the jungler down. I feel like this is a pretty good opportunity for RA.
There we go, Act 2 starting off strong for Rare Atom. One of their strengths in previous series has been knowing when to take their fights. Took a little while for that mid lane outer turret to fall, but without the Maokai ult available, LGD couldn't defend themselves. Rare Atom, they pulled the trigger at the right point. Now, looking at this Baron, that will see them over to the next Dragon, and it'll see them over to being able to break open the map, particularly now this mid lane turret has fallen. They missed a lot of the initial CC, but the tower's so low, they can just finish it in the middle of this fight, which helps them finish off this dive.
Yeah, Strive goes wild on the CC, but Xiaoshu never misses that Q3, does he? Manages to find it onto Envy, saves the play. Recall denied by Envy, but I'm not really sure.
Left of it, empowered recalls, all that really are left of it. But now this push towards the inner turret, Rare haven't got a response, they're teleporting.
Deep teleport here, Meteor, no ultimate available. Strive flashes over, Everfrost is there, it's onto Fairness. Doesn't have his cask though, so he should go down. It's a pick for RA. Can they find more off of it? Drake is about to spawn, but to be honest, you would have expected them to get the Drake anyway. A push in the top side in the meantime from Envy and Jinzhao. They've got to get back to base. They're going to lose an inhib if they're not back soon.
Potentially so. You have to take the longer recalls. They don't have the Baron buff. That's another charm.
Beautiful. Meteor taken down, but Lien answered. Beautiful from Envy. It's a tower down, but they can't actually force the inhib. Xiaoshu, the target. As he's knocked back, he's tanky. Is he tanky enough? Envy trying to get that damage down, but Lien half health. He's scared to jump in. The rocket could be huge here as LGD are actually finding their fight. This is insane coming out from LGD. How are they winning this? 10,000 go down, and they go 1-0. Oh wait, no, they don't. Yeah, they got Feather in the end. I was looking at Xiaoshu. The Baron's going to go down. They've already taken it, and LGD might find themselves in a fight anyway. Fearless trying to escape. Cask available to disengage should they need it. As Fearless playing to body block. Strive looking for picks. The roots come out across the team. Assume over the wall. It's a big Moonlight Vigil, but he stepped too far. And High Chow punishes it. Again, LGD find a pick in a fight. And now with no AD carry, Drake spawning. Xiaoshu steps forward. Lien takes half his health from a shock blast. High Chow is carrying this fight for LGD. Envy survives as Xiaoshu looks for a chance. He jumps up forward, all out onto the AD carry. Can he finish off the job? High Chow there to answer though. 2 for 1. And RA limping away. LGD 3 versus 3 now as Drake spawns onto the map.
Heroics from Xiaoshu to at least kill Envy. That's a charm.
Meteor takes a chunk, but dodges away from the Everfrost. Strive could be in trouble here. Meteor can't find the knock-up, though. And Strive will walk away. Spirit Rush to dash away. And RA find themselves Soul Point, but, I mean, it's a 10,000 gold lead for RA, and it does not feel like it.
Rare Atom, they're not able to take fights down the front of LGD's team composition. That's what we're seeing right now. Strive is trying to get some flanks. Assume, oddly, also trying to get some flanks. I'm sure we'll see that in the replay because Strive pops his Spirit Rush, tries to get that first charm, doesn't manage anything with it. Everfrost, similarly, not getting huge value. And Assume just way out of position, disconnected, and I feel like RA and they feel a little bit desperate because they're not being able to force the big plays in the way that they want to. The only thing stopping this from being a massive blowout fight is the fact that Xiaoshu manages to just about get on top of Envy. Doesn't manage it with the first few three, manages to commit the flash just afterwards to do that. Can he do that again in a subsequent fight? I don't know though. Have enough damage to make sure you can thread the needle in some of these fights. Strive is going though.
Yeah, Spirit Rush used that Shock Blast, does massive damage in the roots there on Feather. QSS's though, as Envy surviving for now, but the front line won't. Strive wants a charm slightly wide on it. Can they defend the Nexus? It's the ultimate game of tower defense, but Envy pulled back in and Lien Goomba stomps him on the Kha'Zix. It's over. RA, it was tough. It was a hard-fought win, but a win nonetheless. Double kill for Strive to finish it off. And now the minion wave will march on in and RA take their victory.
It's a victory lap in game 2. Takes them a while to get it done, but RA Atom, they make up for their mistakes in game 1. It's hard fought, strong early game, some wobbles in the mid as they might have got stalled out on. They just about finishes across that line.
Looking like the better team,
here
although
we go.
they're in a 3v2. It's a 1-for-1. Lien moving in for the dive. He's not even needed as Envy almost goes down, but Feather's gone too deep again. So he can be. Drake is up onto the map though. Both junglers hanging around at the bottom side here. Strive gonna forego a minion wave in that mid lane to try and punish LGD. Meteor's here, he's spotted Lien. Strive hasn't been spotted yet, but Feather down low, as is Jin Zhao and Assume. No, Feather gets the kill as Envy forced back by Lien, but trades fairly evenly as he manages to get some autos down, and Meteor arrives for the 2v3. Calibrum there to get a bonus auto in, and now up to the top side as the all-out comes out from Fearness for Xiaoshu. Meteor wants a little bit more. Envy being threatened as Feather tries to find him. The knockup is there, and Feather gets another kill for himself. Jin Zhao, though, on the Lulu, wants to clean things up, gets Assume. Can't find Feather as well, flashes away, and Lien actually can't punish him.
Blows the flash at least, but Jin Zhao, Giga Chad taking down Assume, and now he's going to die.
What are you doing?
He didn't realize my show was roaming.
Look at the supports, man. Feather 3-1 and 2. Jin Zhao 2-2 and 2. They are slaying this game.
Those things have feathers in the bot lane. Oh, that's Sire and Rakan. They've got to be the extra camps. We'll deal with that one. Meteor manages to get a really good angle, but I think basically there's such a disconnect between the minute timings of when a jungler is coming into the lane, where both bot lanes think that their jungler is going to be there in time for the play, and they're not quite there in time, so all-in happens. The grand entrance comes through, and Lien just somehow, in the chaos of all this, just loses track of where Haichao is, and luckily doesn't give gold over.
Tries to go into the tower to at least get a kill. Herald gonna be a 50-50, and RA just stroll in and take it. Cheers, LGD. Appreciate the leash on that one. Brute forcing the fights in the same way as Feather. Could be stunned here, but goes for the quickness himself. Meteor has to flash away. Might just go down before the fight can really even kick off on the side of LGD. It's a kill. This one actually going over to Assume.
In full flight for Atom. Strive going forwards. Haichao out of position.
Rocket Bell turns it into a Tibbers as well, and he can block any future charms with that Tibbers. The opposite deception is there. Will he actually survive this? Oh, the flash charm out from Strive. Answered with a flash from Haichao, and now Feather finally gets involved. Some reinforcements for Strive. Only Rakan, the champion, fast enough to keep up with an Ari engage. There's the ult out from Xiaoshu, but the whole team is here from LGD. I don't think he can escape. Flash comes on through. The TP is here. The stuns connect. And now Meteor looks for more onto Strive as well. Fearness with a bit of damage, but dashes out. Doesn't overforce it. LGD, 5 strong at the bottom side of the map, but Drake isn't up right now. Just going to be the pick onto Malphite. He's going to try and buy space. Drake is spawning. His team should just go for Drake right now, but he won't get away with anything. It's going to be here. Strive looking for Envy over the wall. Dives in. There's Xiaoshu as well. It's absolute carnage as Envy is cut to pieces. And RA, the solo laners, one from either side, find their way in the mid lane.
It's the combo we saw win them the game in that second one. Rare Atom It's been a fight for them, but Strive and Xiaoshu lead from the front, and looks like they're going in towards the base.
And RA making their way towards the middle of the table here. If they can try and force an end, I don't know if they can actually, to be honest. 15 seconds on either carry, they might have to back away from this one.
It's a little bit awkward. I suppose with Envy and Haichao respawning soon, they don't feel bold enough to do so. I was just wondering, with only the low-range frontliners involved, potentially it could have been a bit of a force for that end. Not going to be the case, though. Now with a minute on Dragon, Rare Atom, they can reset, get themselves back out onto the map for what could be Soul Point, or the Soul for LGD. Would like to not give them that. That could be a glimpse of hope for them.
Certainly could. They need to win this fight, though. They're pretty behind at this stage. There's Meteor kind of getting caught out a little bit, but Xiaoshu is really the hero of the play.
Love to see it. A lot of these Malphite ults, they look even better because they've been set up for an advance. Strive walks in, puts people on edge, means that he gets a much easier time to go for that angle. Xiaoshu again has his ult coming up. Let's see what we can do with it.
Fearless charms. The Everfrost is there, the knockup is there, but he is playing Cassante, so he'll be A-okay. And look at the damage we've done, 700 per strike. Huge numbers here in the team fight. Oh, the charm is gorgeous. And that's another few picks. Look at this. Into the meat grinder they go. Envy trying to spy, but Lien cuts him into pieces. And Fearless finds himself alone. Xiaoshu going to try and chase him down, but it will not matter because the mid lane is already wide open. All they need to do is deny the recall from Fearless, and they will win the game. You can see elation on the faces of the RA players as it's just another day at the office. 2-2 now for RA. And it wasn't the most confident win I've ever seen on my screen, but managing to find themselves a win regardless, managing to find themselves this and put themselves even on the scoreboard here in the LPL.
It's a bit rocky. It's got to be particularly some macro worries for RA to kind of work themselves through. I think particularly in Game 2, they weren't playing to their strengths of their composition to close out the game. They just about get away with it. They'll be lucky to walk away with this win. Sadly, LGD not found a single series win just yet. They are better than a 0-5 team. You have to feel that. But at the end of the day, scores on the doors aren't painting a prettier picture.
It's, I don't know, like, the fact that they are 0-5, with these series being as close as they are, is just heartbreaking, isn't it? I can't imagine how disheartening that is for the players on LGD. Like, just a single win here, a single extra win at least. They did get a single win.
Yeah.